And that is the perfect segue into Saturday. So, Saturday, I woke up early. And why, you may ask? Well, we as a church was driving up to Green Lakes. It's a state park in Syracuse. And if you've never been, you should just Google it because this lake is probably one of the most insane clear turquoise, excuse me, I'm getting too excited, turquoise water. And you can see the lake all the way to the bottom. But there are certain parts where it's really deep, but like in the coast, like where it's, or not the coast, where it's pretty shallow, you can see everything. So you could see people fishing, people hiking, like hiking trails, and you could see the fishes swimming. You could see like the little coral reefs that are there too, right? And it feels like, low-key, it kind of feels like a resort dropped in upstate New York, like by mistake. So yeah, I picked up Chris. We drove to Jonathan Lee's house, and Jonathan Lee, he's one of the oldies. And then we just carpooled up there with our ministry intern, Joe Choi. And I gotta tell you, the car ride was probably one of the most underrated parts of the weekend. And this is because for like an hour and a half, we just got to know each other. You know, like there's like a little barrier when there's a little bit of like an age gap. So they're, I think, 6 or 7 years older than us. And yeah, we just had real conversation. They just started talking about their childhood, what games they played, the origin stories behind their gamer tags, and yeah, what music they listen to. It's all like the corny and embarrassing stuff that you don't normally share with other people, right? And it was raw and real in a way that I didn't expect. And that these guys who I've been seeing every Sunday at church for months, I was actually, for the first time, getting to know who they were as a person. So anyways, we got to Green Lakes around noon and I was starving. So that's when we started to grill meat. And Jonathan Lee, I have to take a second to talk about this man because he is literally a master chef.
But it's
And
because
I'm not
it needs
exaggerating. The char on those burger patties, the char on the hot dogs, I would put his cookout against any restaurant in the city. So yeah, lunch was amazing because I just got to chow on so much food, and low-key it was so nice because of the scenic views and the day was really pretty. So after that, we got acai bowls from a little snack shack on the site, and I'm gonna say this right now, but you're probably gonna get mad at me, but it was $15 for a bowl. And to be honest, it was the most mid bowl ever for something so taxed like that. It low-key PMO'd. And it literally tasted like one of those packets that you would get from like Costco, like an acai bowl that you would get from Costco. And yeah, it was good because it was refreshing, but I wouldn't pay $15 for something like that again. So anyways, we got back to the site and then something terrible happened. So my camera actually fell and the cord connecting it to my mic right now snapped clean off. So all the footage I was trying to film for you guys for like a vlog that I was trying to create, the audio, it was completely destroyed and gone. So the whole rest of the Green Lakes attempt was just gone. So it's low-key kind of funny because my high school teacher would have killed me. Well, my broadcast high school teacher. And she would have just been like, Jonathan, 2 hands on the camera, 2 hands. And I would have just been like, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Murphy, Mrs. Murphy. If this ever goes onto your page, just know that that wasn't my fault. It was the wind. So yeah. But yeah, it was, you know, it was actually low-key a blessing in disguise. And the reason why was because I was actually able to start living in the moment there right now. So what I did was I kayaked with Chris and Jonathan Lee in this absurdly clear water. And it was so fun because I was doing a tandem with Chris and it was so funny because we were kayaking together and we were just screaming in the middle of this tranquil lake. And I promise you guys that we weren't a nuisance at all. So yeah. And then things, a couple hours passed and then the other church members trickled in and we just sat in the sun for hours and I finally let vitamin D, my vitamin D levels physically increase. And if you guys didn't know, I really don't like the sun because I don't like getting sunburnt. So yeah, I finally let that, and I did get pretty tan actually. So yeah, on the way home, me and Chris, we just kind of knocked out in the car. And yeah, it was the kind of sleep that you would get on a really, really good day. So yeah, that night, it was good. I got back and then we just rested. And then what I did was I watched the final episode of My Royal Nemesis. And honestly, that's probably one of the best K-dramas I've ever watched. It's so funny. I just really liked the plot, and I just thought that the characters were so well developed. So 10 out of 10 would recommend if you guys are looking for a new K-drama to start.